our puppy rules and give you a lot of good information. So the most important, there's 3 puppy rules, okay? Those are written down for you too. First one, tired puppy's a good puppy. Okay, that makes sense. It's just hard to get him tired. If he's as high energy, as you say, it's hard to get him tired. If you get him used to the leash and the collar already, that's good, and you can take him for walks. You can play, shepherds, well, you know how they chase stuff, so you can play pickle in the middle, you can do all those kind of things. But the first rule is tired puppy's a good puppy. Second rule is freedom is a puppy's worst enemy.
Okay.
So, do you have a cage?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. How big is it compared to the table?
I got him the second largest one. It's probably as long or longer.
Does
and
it have a
I can
divider?
section it off. I already divided it.
You'll need about this much.
Okay, that's where I got it.
He needs enough room to stretch and turn around, and that's about it.
Okay.
If you give him this whole thing, he'll poop over here or pee over here, and he'll go, I don't know who did that.
Right.
Okay, so we want to keep him kind of cozy in there. No food, no water. If you put a blanket or a towel in there, most likely he'll pee on it or poop on it.
Yeah.
So if there's a towel in there, a blanket, and he hasn't gone on it, that's fine. But if he's had an accident on it, get it out of there. Just the plain bottom. You don't need to put anything else there, but no food, no water. He can probably have a toy in there if he's supervised.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful that he doesn't, the stuffed ones with the squeaky toy, he doesn't rip the insides out. And rawhides are fine. Little sticks or little ones with knots. But rawhides, I like him supervised.
Yeah.
In case it gets too gunky and you have to pull it out, you don't want him to choke on it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the first 2 rules are tired puppy's a good puppy, and that's the most important one. Second one will save his life and probably your sanity is freedom is a puppy's worst enemy.
Right.
And the third rule is too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you have to say it a lot.
Right.
Your house, your rules.
Right.
I give you guidelines, but you have to set up the rules. He eats puppy food. He doesn't eat anything off the table. I don't care how much he begs and cries and whines and whatever.
Right.
It's too bad. He wants that too bad. He wants to run out in the front yard without a leash. Too bad.
Right.
You're too close to major streets. He'll get hit.
Right.
So, if he sleeps in the cage, that's great. If you want to sleep, him to sleep in bed with you, that's fine. But and same thing with beds and furniture. It's either he does it or he doesn't do it. It's black and white. They learn better in black and white. I don't want to put you to put him in bed with you one night and go, you drove me crazy. You're going to sleep in your cage now. Because then all he'll do is scream.
Yeah.
Okay? You can get in closer. It's fine. So I want you to be strict. Not mean, but just strict.
Right.
I want you to be consistent, which is sometimes the hard part. And I want you to be black and white.
Right.
Shepherds are real smart. On our scale of our puppies, they're definitely at the very smart end. So he'll learn things quickly.
Right.
You just have to be careful he doesn't outsmart you.
Right. He's real good with his cage. He has not been having any accidents in his cage. He's actually
good.
He's like 85% house trained
good.
already.
Shh, don't say that out loud. We're going to take him out first thing in the morning, last thing he eats, and last thing at night, after he eats, after he sleeps, after he plays, any other time. Because a lot of times people see their puppies doing their mad dashes, and they'll go, where did he go? And he's in the middle of the mad dash pooping, squatting and pooping. Because they don't have a rheostat, remember?
Yeah.
It's everything is on and off.
Right.
He'll be running like crazy, and then boom, he'll crash.
Yeah.
So you have to keep a very close eye on him. But so we're going to let him out first thing in the morning, last thing at night, after he eats, after he drinks, after he wakes up from a nap. If he's sleeping, it's 11 o'clock at night. I know you run different hours sometimes, but put those onto your hours. So it's 11 o'clock at night, and he's sound asleep, and you go, I won't wake him up. Forget it. Wake him up.
Right.
Throw him outside. Watch out for skunks this time of year. Let him go to the bathroom. Praise him. Tell him he's a good boy, and put him back to sleep. Because if you don't, as soon as you get into that deep REM sleep, he'll start screaming, and by the time you swim to the top, he'll probably have an accident in the cage. So wake him up, let him out. In the morning, you have to grab him and let him out before you go to the bathroom. He's not ready to wait yet.
Right.
With feeding, he's about 10 weeks old, so we can still feed 3 times a day if that fits into your schedule.
Oh.
Okay? If it doesn't, you can go 2, but I'd like him to eat 3 times a day. You put the food down for about 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes tops. If he doesn't eat it, third rule, too bad. It goes back in the bag. because you're feeding him the dry food and good puppy food. And you'll do that 3 times a day. And if he misses a meal, he'll learn that he's smart enough. Too bad. He'll learn his lesson. And the next meal he'll eat it. Because we would like him when you put his food down. And you too. I mean, all the owners like to see their puppies when you put the food down for them to dive into it and eat it. Okay? Sometimes shepherds aren't the best eaters. They're more occupied with playing or chasing birds or seeing squirrels in the backyard. So sometimes they're not good eaters like labs and beagles are. That would rather, some of those breeds would rather eat than anything else. These guys would rather run around than anything else.
Right, he eats a little and then he gets distracted.
Right. So make it like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Normal hours, no food after 6. He's not going to starve to death. He's not going to be anything. No problem with that. The last food should be at 6. With water's a little different. Let's say last water is at 7. We're going to give him about a quarter of a cup at a time. Okay? Because just like we have to train his GI tract with feeding him in meals, so he can go outside. We have to train his urinary system too, because he's young, he's healthy, his kidneys are young and healthy. He could drink a bucket of water. The problem is his bladder's this big. Okay, it's the size of, I don't know, a big gumball maybe. So if he drinks a ton, where's it going to go? On your kitchen floor. What happens a lot of times, it might happen to you the first week, people give their puppies all the water they want because, oh, he's thirsty, it's good, let him drink. And then you let him out, and he'll go outside, and he'll go. 5 minutes later, he'll be doing his pee dance or whatever. You let him out, he'll go again. You let him out 2 or 3 times, and he goes every time, and you praise him. At this age, we don't want to give him treats because of the gastrocolic reflex. He gets a treat, he'll poop. So we want to just praise him, plus he should learn to do things because you tell him to do things, not because you're bribing him. But so you let him out 3 or 4 times, he pees, and then he's dancing around. You're in the kitchen, hopefully, because it's easier to have a puppy in the kitchen with tile or linoleum, and put up baby gates, and we're restricting his area so you know where he is.
We did all that
because of the freedom rule. And so he pees on the floor. Okay, and you go, what'd you do that for? I just let you out. Well, he did it because he had too much water to drink. And you get down on the floor and you're cleaning it up with paper towels and fantastic. And he's jumping on your back or he's talking to you. And you go, oh, how nice, he's apologizing. He's not apologizing, he's got to pee again. So what happens to a lot of people, they clean it up, they reach behind him to get off the floor, and they go, oh, I can't believe you did that. And it's just because he had too much water. So if we give him a third of a cup, a quarter of a cup, a third of a cup or so, and then you can give it to him a lot of times during the day, but just let his body process it so he can utilize it instead of just going in and going out.
And then as far as the food, obviously it's going to vary by the type of dog food, but just
a little bit.
Give him, whatever he wants, like 3 times.
Nope, you're going to go on the guidelines. On the guidelines on there. And then there's some things I want you to do with him. I want you to open up his mouth, touch his teeth, touch his gums, touch his tongue, in case you do have to pull something out of his mouth. When you take him for a walk, maybe garbage morning, he gets into somebody's garbage, you pull it out. We don't want him to have 3 days of diarrhea because he eat that. Or if he chews up a rawhide and he's choking on it, I want you to play with his paws, okay? So, because he's going to step in mud, we're going to wipe him off. He's probably going to step in dog poop, we're going to wipe that off. And, don't do
That's
that.
his big issue right now.
We're going to do that too. And so when we do his nails, it doesn't take 7 people to hold him down, because we've been through that. To do his nails. I want you to play with his ears. Because if he gets an ear infection, I want you to be able to put the ear medication in there. And then maybe the most important part, which will help with that chewing on him, I want you to do this.
Dominate him
a little bit. Because I don't want you to yell at him, I don't want you to hit him. But if you do this, he'll learn, and he's a nice middle-of-the-road puppy.
Oh, that's good, I forgot about that.
Dominant puppies fight like crazy. Up, what did I say? You're a middle-of-the-road puppy. See how he's folding up? That's good. In real recessive puppies, we'll have a fountain. He'll have already peed all over us. So this is good. For about 30 seconds, twice a day. Everybody, you should do it. Your dad should do it. If your brother's over, he should do it.
Stomach, that's not skin-rich, is it?
And then once you do this, once he's okay, and he'll have a little second wind. You saw he fought a little bit. And once he's done, let him up. What a good boy. What a good boy. Okay?
No, that's true. I forgot about that from the
other
ones I
that'll
had
keep
years
him
ago.
from chewing on you a little bit. Also, if you get him completely exhausted. It'll help him
Yeah.
freshen when I need to.
Yeah.
All right,
Did you
and
do
those
that?
are my puppy rules. All right,